Yo, what's up guys, Nancher here, and welcome to the long-awaited week 10 of Ask Nan. So this has been 10 weeks. Well, actually, this is actually week 11, but I'm gonna be doing week 11 this week, I promise. To be honest, when I did week 1, I was not expecting this series to become my most, to become the series that people actually look forward to seeing most each week, and yeah, like. Each week, this consistently gets at least like 20 something views. I'm actually very, very excited about that because like I only have 29 or 30 something subscribers, and that's really 2/3 of you guys like come here each and every week just to watch these things. And I know that primarily that for the most part, like a lot of you kind of see this as, oh well, he's just he's just talking to his friends or something like that. But I do try to reach out to all of you. Like if you watch my videos, if you comment down in the comments below, I do notice you. And I do try to pick up on some of the things that I see just in the community that I can talk about. So for this week is gonna be more of a more, I guess, like personal / very, very sappy story time incoming. So if you're not interested in that, if you don't want to catch some feels, probably don't watch this video. But if you are trying to catch some feels, keep watching. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and finally keep the promise that I made to Gakba from week 8, or was it week 8? It might have been week 7, and just talk about some JoJo references. So if you don't remember what he asked, are there any JoJo references in Shadowverse, or can you make any JoJo references in Shadowverse? And it did take me a while, just because I sometimes don't always have the time to watch as much anime as I would like, especially something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, just because I made the mistake of watching somewhere in between, and so now if I try to watch it back from the beginning, it would be weird. It would be weird for me. However, I did try to go ahead and watch quite a bit of it, and whatever parts I didn't watch, I decided to go ahead and research it, just because it was really important to me that that you keep a promise to the people that you make, just because like you want to be someone who's trustworthy. So one of the possible references that I noticed is that one of the possible, I guess, like references that I can make is that Black Dragon Rowan is actually a stand user. The reason why is because, quite literally, dragons are cool. A black dragon is really cool, but Rowan is not cool. and like stand users are from what I understand, like they're like manifestations of what you want to be. So again, Rowan wants to be cool. But you see that smile, you see that face, he's not cool at all. He's just not. For the next one, Eris is Dio. So if you don't know who he is, but I'm pretty sure you probably do, because he has like a billion memes named after him. The main antagonist of JoJo's is Dio Brando, aka Dio. And there's a meme that Dio has to be in everything. And you see this all the time. You see a lot of memes with some like historical figure or whatever that instead of seeing the figure's face, you instead see Dio's face, because Dio has a need to be in everything. And that's when I got to thinking, okay, well, that means that Eris is Dio, because Eris literally feels the need to be in everything. Oh hey, well, my diabolical plan is working, and all these people are like trapped, and all these people who could stop me are trapped under my spell. Let me go ahead and just interact with them anyway, and tell them that, oh hey, I can free you and all this other stuff, because I feel the need to be in everything. And then lastly, Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty is actually Yoshikage Kira, because Yoshikage Kira can make bombs out of like anything, from like anything he touches, whereas like Humpty Dumpty is the bomb. And if I remember correctly, like Humpty Dumpty, I think he has like weird looking fingernails, if I remember correctly, from his artwork in Shadowverse. So yeah, those are some of the JoJo references that I was able to like make. I'll probably try to make more later, but I probably will not be in a video. Okay, so for the next question, this is also in week 9. But at the time, I didn't actually have as much time as I would have liked to go ahead and go into detail about this, just because I do try to make these Ask Nan less than 40 minutes per week, just because I realize that a lot of you guys are going to want to watch it, and I don't really timestamp each question. I'll probably try to do that this week, but because I don't like really timestamp each question, sometimes if you want to see your question answered, you have to like go through like the entire video, and that can be very, very long. So going to Sasaki's question, who asked me last week, and it actually asked me in week 2 or week 1, and I'm just now getting back to it. Sorry about that, dude. His question was, can you tell us about your real life job? So I've actually had a few different jobs for the most part in the last like year or two. The first job I had was as a card attendant at a local Sam's Club. Basically, as a card attendant, you basically just like you take care of cards. You basically kiss people. You basically just like take care of cards, take care of problems outside the store. Now, in my case, because I made the quote unquote mistake of coming off as very, very dependable. In my case, I had a lot of different jobs. I had a lot of different jobs I had to do that weren't just on my job description. Such as, for example, I had to like take care of manicuring all of the wildlife outside the store. Like, so for example, trimming trees, taking care of leaves on the ground and whatnot. I'd take care of that. I had to take care of like taking care of my coworkers, as well as just dealing with things inside the store, as well as taking care of the trash compactor. From there, I actually started working as a water surveyor. Now, a water surveyor, there are two different kinds. There's one that does field work, and then there's the one that doesn't. And then there's one that does like soft work. I was not the field working. I was not the field working one. Like, I was for a little while, but then but that was too much for me, just because when I was a cart guy, I kind of found myself in a position where I had to like do the work of 5 people as one person, and that was very, very taxing on my body, and that kind of carried over to when I was working as a water surveyor. I just couldn't keep up with it. So for that, and for some other personal health reasons, I had to like stop working there. So right now I'm actually in between jobs, which is kind of difficult to be, because if you don't know, I think I talked about this in week 1 of Ask Nan, but I probably haven't. But if you didn't know, right now I'm in a very, very difficult period of life. Back in January, my house burned down. It was a house that I'd lived in for like 15 years with my mom and my siblings. And, like, it burned down due to a grease fire. It wasn't, like, anyone's fault. It's just one of those, like, natural life things. They happen. However, if you don't know, dealing with insurance companies can be a very, very long and taxing process. And it can be one of those processes where even if you have a lot of assets that are lost in, like, a fire or just, damage or some sort, it can still take a while for claims to go ahead and pay out the money that they're supposed to pay you. It can take at least 6 months to like maybe like a year plus. And right now we're only at that like 6 month period. So if you're dealing with that, basically just trying to find a place to stay. We did find a place to stay. However, right now we're in the process of trying to pay for said place. So the majority of the money that I've like made the last like 6 months and whatnot has basically has more or less like gone to my mom, so that way she can like pay for it. Just because while I lost quite a few things, I don't think anyone in the house lost more than what my mom lost. Just because, like, again, like I said, 15 years of memories are a lot. Like, and while memories don't really mean, while they mean something to me, obviously, they probably don't mean nearly as much to me as it did to my mom. And while she hasn't really like said it or just visibly like expressed it, she was really shaken up about the whole affair. So as a result, I don't have really much of any money to use on myself. As a result, for some of the stuff I lost, which includes like not one but apparently 2 laptops, which is both amusing and saddening at the same time. But as a result, I basically do all the recording for Ask Nan and just pretty much any of my online interactions with anyone whatsoever, all from my phone. Now, obviously, this is very difficult to do, and this is why some weeks in the past when I was just getting started, you'd have like some weeks where I just like wouldn't have music playing or something like that, which is not good because I have a lot of background noise, or where you'd have some of these like other hiccups, just because again, it can be very difficult for me to both record and play at the same time from one device. So you might be wondering, okay, well, what does that mean for us? Well, ever since before I even like started uploading videos, a lot of you guys have been asking me, okay, when's an Andre stream coming? When's an Andre stream coming? Like, I'm pretty sure I've been asked that more than I've been asked any single question since I started making this video series. And right now, one of my goals is to try to save up for a cheap laptop. Now, to further that goal, and because I do think that's something you might be interested in doing this, I decided to go ahead and make a Patreon account. Now, I do leave the link down in my Ask Nan down in my videos now as like part of my thumbnail. But if you don't know what Patreon is, basically it's a platform where you can like donate money to your favorite like content producers and whatnot, and then there are like rewards you can get, and then there are goals that the person that you're supporting, aka your Patreon, that they're working towards. So for me right now, it's working towards buying a cheap laptop so I can go and start streaming for you guys. So I was pretty against buying a cheap laptop just because I've had them in the past. I don't much care for them. just because it's part of a you get what you pay for sort of thing, and I didn't want to like run into any problems. However, you guys have motivated me to want to change that, just because so many of you so passionately ask me, when is the Ask Nan stream coming? When is the stream coming? Stream now, stream soon, please. So I really want to start doing that for you guys. And while I have no idea how that'll actually go once I actually get started for it, once I actually get started with it, I'm still really looking forward to that. So if you do want to support me or anything like that, you just you have something extra they can donate, I'll take literally any donation, and I'll go ahead and I'll try to think up some like good rewards. Like for example, I think like right now the cheapest thing I have is like donate $2 and I'll play like a meme deck if you want, and I'll probably just like I'll like record a video for it. I'm not super creative when it comes to coming up with ideas in contexts like this. So I will take obviously like any suggestions that you guys have. Like I know, for example, Room Noxie has actually been helping me a lot with this, just by like giving me ideas of like things I can do. So again, like if this is something you want, like, and you have like a little bit extra you can spare, go ahead and do that. Like it only takes a little bit from each person in order to achieve something massive. Like that's basically how society works. Well, that's part of how society works. Alright. So here's the Patreon link right here. www.patreon.com/Nonjuro. Alright. Now for the other part of week 10. So I didn't actually get that, well, I don't think I got that many questions this week, partially because I was still doing the research for Gakko's question, as well as taking care of some like personal real life things. So the question I got from Sakia was, in the Fateverse Discord, you characterize people's roles by that of the roles from that of the Fate Stay Night series, and recently I forgot exactly what happened, but for some reason a bunch of them who already had set classes got randomly reclassed to that of Berserker. So Sakia asked, since everyone became Berserkers, classify us into servant classes. So there are seven classes in the Fate Stay Night series. I don't think I use every single class here, but I do try to use most of them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go down the list. So for Rumnoxy, his class is going to be Archer, just because he's a little bit more autonomous than other people that I know. Like he usually kind of does his own thing, can kind of operate separately, which is nice. So also he kind of strikes me as an Archer with how he's pretty calm and casual about most things. For Sakia, not she. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that. Sorry. He's gonna be assassin / caster. The reason why is because he has savage one-liners. Holy crap. Also, he's gonna be assassin because... Sorry. He's also gonna be assassin just because, he's one of those people that, he's basically kind of brutally honest for the most part, which is nice. I know not everyone likes that, but it's just one of those personality traits that some people have. And then he's caster because I made the majority of Shadow Mane's casters just because you summon a lot of zombies. Summoning zombies is technically reanimation. And reanimation is kind of, that's like magic, sort of. So, yeah. For Gakba, he's going to be caster. The reason why is because, quite literally, the name's Gakba, don't forget. And I'm using that in reference of Master Mage Levi because Gakba loves Rune. For Thanni, she's going to be Saber because she likes big swords. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. That was basically an inside joke. But jokes aside, she's a passionate and avid sword bane, and honestly, literally could not imagine picking her for any other class other than sword. Just straight up, just couldn't do it. Additionally, while I'm here, sometime in the next 72 hours or so, I'll be recording some control sword mirror match games with her. So look forward to that. For Saria, literally Saber, never wasn't Saber. If you haven't ever watched a stream, well, first you should go ahead and do that. But he uses a lot of, he uses a lot of Fate Stay Night things. Additionally, he has a lot of Saber emotes as well. So and naturally, his favorite class is sword. For Megumin, he's gonna be caster for literally the same exact reason as Gakba. He's a rune main, and also Master Mage Levi is very, very flashy. And I'm pretty sure, as far as cards that sound like they should be memes, that's Levi. Master Mage Levi is probably one of my favorite cards from Wonderland Dreams. For Luna, as well as Kiri, they're both gonna be casters for the same exact reason as I said earlier, just because they're avid shadow mains, and as a result, reanimation sounds like a caster thing. For Gumi, she's gonna be Lancer. The reason why is because every time I see Lancer characters in the Fate Stay Night series, they're very aggressive, and so is she for the most part. At least when discussing her positions on cards and whatnot. And additionally, I put her as Lancer just because I'm putting the majority of people who I know play Dragon as Lancer, just because dragons have a lot of spear / lance cards, and and also because not even joking, when I said Lance and I said Dragon, I immediately thought of Dragon Champion Lance from that of Pokemon. For Zami Zane for life, he's going to be writer. The reason why he's writer is because, ironically, sorry, not ironically, just amusingly, when all right, so you can get roles in the Fate vs. Discord by one of two ways. You either have to be like friends with Saria, or you have to be like super active in the Fate vs. Discord community. And for Zami Zane, he he was asking for a writer class for so long, if I remember correctly, and he I think for a time he said that he wanted to be riding something else instead of a horse, but I don't remember. For Ixku as well as Steph, they're both gonna be the farmer class. The reason why is because these two, they're both my students. I do go ahead and I tutor them at least once or twice per week, and and it's funny because every time both of them come to me, they're always like really eager and really avid about just farming ranks, just climbing the ladder, getting to that higher plane of skill level. For Prep Coin, he's gonna be rider class. The reason why is because he kind of reminds me of the rider from the really big one, the one that had that really skinny and kind of like shy, awkward dude as his master in It was one of the Fate Stay Nights, but I don't remember which one, and I don't remember which, and I don't really remember which hero he was. I want to say I'm pretty sure it was Alexander the Great, actually. But yeah, for Very Reaver, he's gonna be Archer because Cell win. Yeah, like he's a very avid Forest main, and naturally, yeah, I just went with Cell win just because like Forest has a lot of like Archer type characters in it. So yeah. For Sisney, even though he's a very avid Forest main, his class is going to be caster, but this can be a little bit different than the one I said qualified as a caster from earlier. He's a caster because one, he likes snow meme, he likes snowmen, which are snow meme no longer, just because he did actually qualify in NGE with this. Additionally, he also just likes combo decks as a whole. So again, combos involve tricky things, which when it comes to tricky things, you usually think of casters. For Sleeted Rain, he's also going to be a caster because I know Rune is his favorite class. He was also playing D-Ship when I first met him, and even now, like he usually still tries to play things like that. I think every now and then he tries to play like combo decks. Like for example, he tries to play a lot of Phoenix Roosts. So yeah. For Dave as well as Siebes, they're both going to be Saber. The reason why is because one, those two are like a package deal. Most times you never see one without the other. Additionally, because recently they along with like Hey Sherry, we're having a zombie stream. Hence why I wrote zombie as zombies. And I couldn't think of any better way to kill a zombie than with a sword, just because you had the zombie easy. For Kay Sherry, however, she's going to be the ruler class because one day I believe that she'll rule the Shadowverse and voice actress world. But seriously, I'm very excited to see what she can do and to see how far she'll be able to take it. Just because like she's a very passionate person, and like, and generally, when you're passionate about something, as well as when you're like both honest and earnest, you usually get places. So I'm really excited to see exactly where she'll be able to go in life with that. For Jordan, he's gonna be ruler, but literally he's ruler because he'd be salty if I didn't pair him with John Dark, just because he's literally the biggest Haven fanboy I know, aside from like Joe Universe. For Spy Wrecker, he's gonna be he/she. I'm pretty sure it's a he though. is going to be Saber, partially because like while I don't interact with him that often, like I think let's see, I've interacted with him like 3 or 4 times, and I think two or three of those 4 times have been talking about Sword in some regard. I'm pretty sure the last 2 were about Sword. For I Play Mel's, he's gonna be caster. The reason why he's gonna be caster is because, well, there are 2 reasons. He could have been caster, or he could have been Lancer. But I put him down for caster just because, like, I know he likes control and combo decks as well. So it's for that reason. But however, he could have been Lancer just because like, to me, a Lancer is kind of like a knight. It's like a defender, and for like the knight classes, that kind of strikes me as a class that would want to play control, just because like knights can be like paladins. So for ult pre, he's caster. He's also a berserker because he's a blood main. For time, aka Reminiscence, he's Lancer because Dragon Lance. Yeah, it was at this point that I realized that the whole Lance plus Dragon thing is why I was categorizing Dragon mains as Lancers. And then lastly, for Crack Grenade. If you don't know who Crack Grenade is, that's fine. He / she, again, pretty sure it's a he. But you never want to assume. They comment on, like, I think like at least 70% of my videos each and every time that I have an update. Like they're actually I think like the only person who consistently comments on like my videos, and they always have a very insightful comment, and usually when you ask someone a question, like usually it's usually like a give and take. It's usually like a one person gives the answer and the other person takes the answer. But whenever I like interact with him again or her, I always feel like I myself get something out of it, just because he usually brings an insight that I myself maybe didn't see. Like, for example, in my recent video, turning up the heat with Raft Drake, he asked me about a possible like better play that I could have made it, in which I could have kept like 3 bodies alive instead of 1. And yeah, like it's always really nice, well, for me personally, to have someone who can go ahead and who can like challenge you on your ideas, just because you never want to get too full of yourself, and it's always nice just like have a second opinion, because even if you think you're right, it's all right to be right, but there's sometimes a better way about being right. But seriously, I really appreciate that like almost like, again, like almost each and every video he has a comment for me. Like it's like really detailed, and I have to really think about how to answer him. Like, so sometimes it takes me a little sometimes it takes me a while, which is nice, because it gets me like exercise for my mind. But yeah, like I also know that he wasn't expecting me to include him in Ask Nan. So yeah, so shout out to you, man. You made it to the big times. Because again, like when I do these, it's not meant to like leave anyone out. So if I did like forget you or something like that, just go ahead and like politely just like tag me, just like send me a PM, just be like, oh hey, well, you didn't include me, can you like include me next week or something like that? And I do get back to you, just because like it's just because we're a team. Like each and every one of us, like we all coexist with one another, and when you can do that, like you'll be able to achieve more, because again, to achieve more is to be a team. But yeah, like, but the same goes for actually all of you. As I literally say down here, I honestly wouldn't be here each and every week if you guys weren't so adamant that you want to see more and more content. Just because like so many of you like always like talk about videos, like and to me, like that was both surprising and shocking. Like I'm not like mad about it, obviously. It was just one of those like, it just like, I'm a pretty smart guy, but I just like could not wrap my mind around that sometimes. Just that sometimes you guys will like talk about my videos, or if like someone has a question or something like that, and like Discord or something like that, you guys will sometimes even like link my videos for me. I'm just like, wow, like yeah. you guys all mean a lot to me, each and every one of you. And yeah, like, I'm a pretty shy guy overall, which is why sometimes, like, for a lot of these, you sometimes, like, hear me, like, stutter a little bit. But most days, I honestly, like, even though I, like, stutter sometimes, like, most days while I'm, like, doing these videos for you, like, even though that's, like, really, really embarrassing for me, like, you honestly have no idea how embarrassing that is for me. But with your support, like, I feel, like, embarrassed, but I feel, like, comfortable at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like, okay, well, these guys like me. Well, these guys honestly like me for me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't, like, still be, like, watching these videos. Like, and that makes me feel good. Like, so when I feel good, I'm gonna try to make you guys feel good. Because again, it's all about that. It's all about that give and take in life. So thank you, each and every one of you. Like, you guys mean so much to me. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. All right, so this is gonna be the end of week 10. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Week 11 will probably be on Sunday, maybe Saturday. I'm not sure, because I'm gonna be very, very busy this weekend. Because again, I'm moving stuff tomorrow for a friend. I think either tomorrow or Friday, I'll be recording Control Sword games with Thanni. On Saturday, I'm usually, like, half dead or asleep. And on Sunday is very, very big. So on Sunday, I'm supposed to be collab streaming with my best friend Saria. I'll go ahead and drop his link, as well as Prep Coin's link, as well as K Sherry's link down in the comments below. Sorry, down in the description below. But yeah, like, I'm supposed to be, like, streaming. I'm supposed to be, like, collab streaming with Saria, which is gonna be kind of nice, because again, like, I know a lot of you are like, wow, like, I really want to see Nandra stream. Well, there you go. This is gonna be a chance for you to get just, like, I guess, like, get, like, an idea of what that might be like. It's gonna be pretty fun. I'm actually really, really excited. I'm actually really, really excited for it. And yeah, I hope to see all of you guys there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.